Hello YouTube, what's up guys? I'm just making a video for my shop tour. It's not really a shop tour, although I know a lot of people in the woodworking industry really love those on YouTube as well as I do. I watch everybody's and it's always cool to see what people do. This is mine anyways. My shop, I've had it for about 6 years. It's about the same size as like a 2-car garage, maybe slightly smaller just with the way it's shaped, and it does have its own bathroom, and then we do have a loft space, but it's just used as storage. So let me show you around my shop. All right, well, this is the back door to the back alleyway to my shop and the store. A little bit about me: I am a cabinet maker, woodworker from British Columbia, Canada. I've been doing cabinetry for about 15 plus years now, and I've been doing woodworking ever since high school and loved it, and it's now been a thing. So I've been slowly getting tools together in my time and building up a little shop and setting it up. So have lots of improvement to do. Unfortunately, this video is kind of a shop tour, but mostly just the start of where I'm gonna make my YouTube journey and show you guys some of the projects I work on, and hopefully follow along with a lot of you guys that I watch on YouTube as well. Sorry also if this is a little bit shaky, by the way, because I'm just using my cell phone and I don't have a selfie stick or anything like that. Anyways, I do have this wall area here as you come in the shop. This is that door here. And then I have this air cleaner here. My buddy Steve's dropped off to me and gave to me. Thank you, appreciate it. Step ladder, fire extinguisher. I have one of these flip top carts that I watched Fisher's shop. That guy was excellent and I loved his design and stuff. So I kind of grabbed his plan. I tweaked it for myself. I just watched that video and then just built my own, but it worked out really good. I got my rigid planer on here and then the spindle sander thing here. I do use both of them quite often, so it's nice to have them be able to roll it out, hook it up when I need them. Unfortunately, I do have some laundry down here, as you see. I do have a washer and dryer in here because this is where I do my laundry for at home. For now anyways, there's gonna be some doors on there at some point in time later, but I have a laser engraver thing here that I never use, but I have it. I also have a small edge bander here sitting behind all of the laundry stuff. One of these iron-on edge bander machines. I've used it a couple of times. It's okay, not the greatest. Then we have the bathroom here, which the bathroom obviously nice to have. I put a mop sink in here so we got more water, and a little locker from school that is getting ripped down, and I got these for free, so I kind of just use it as you know emergency stuff, medical. My mask goes in there. This one we have some stains and silicones and stuff like that. Down here it's all paint, and down here, this one here, I just put my stains and glue and stuff like that. Other than that, yeah, it's bathroom. And when we're coming out, straight across from the back door, I have my workbench here. This whole thing, I'm planning to use this video also to help with this, because I have this big workbench here and it's great. And I used to have a smaller rigid contractor saw on a table that I built with a side table, because I also got this aftermarket fence here and rails. So I had that on a contractor saw on a big cart. It gave me like a 50+ inch rip, which is amazing, because I used to cut big cabinets. And so right now I have some projects going on. I'm building a thing for my wife for one of her cabinets. And then I have this small cabinet here that I'm working on. It's about 4 feet and 2 feet and then 2 feet deep. I do a shaker style on it. It's kind of a little quick thing. Anyways, and then I got all my woods and stuff stored up against the side, that kind of stuff. That's all just scrap garbage wood, and then some 2x4s and stuff like that I got recently. Yeah, I recently got this table saw as well. I'm gonna upgrade it even more, but I did just get this thing. It's one of the rigid 4512 table saws. Actually, so far I'm really impressed with it. It's really nice. I got it for $100 because it was in rough shape from a guy that took it apart, couldn't put it back together again. And so I kind of got it for a steal. The top was all rusty and all gross, so we sanded it all up, got it polished. He didn't have a throat plate here, so I made one. I didn't have any table or anything like that. It had these metal wings that weren't even connected to it anymore because, like I said, he took it all apart, couldn't put it back together. I put my aftermarket fence, which is Excalibur by General, in case you guys are wondering, Canadian. So lots of General products are amazing, and I've used them for years. So I got this fence and we put it on this saw instead, but I'm getting about a 47-inch rip capacity, not quite a full sheet across, but pretty close. So far it's been really good. I'm gonna switch out this wing here. It's just here for temporary. We're gonna put a router table here. I know a lot of guys like to put it on the right side, but as you can see, there's no walking space, so I don't like that. We're gonna put it on the left side in this area. And this workbench here for my outfeed table, it was great, and I've used it for years now. However, big problem, it's open on the bottom, and it means so much stuff got stored in my shop over the last few years, like this pile of rocks my wife wanted that I had no idea what to do with. So we're in this cart, and then that was stored underneath there, and then some bins with other bins, and then scrap wood, and so it became a little floating zone for just dead items that I don't want here. And then I can't work around the full L side of my workbench. I could only really work on this little 4-foot end, which I really didn't like. So I also had that, what do they call it, the Polk workbench, and I took that idea here, and it's great. But however, this kind of happens. Long tubing, long clamps, long pieces of like plexiglass is in there, random storage of long items end up going in there and hogging all of that space. And I don't like that. So we're gonna get rid of that, and eventually that will be a video. I will make it and we'll do a nice little workbench here. I want it on casters because I want to be able to roll it out to work around it when I have to, because as you can see, I do make a lot of cabinets like this. So 4 feet, 2 feet, and then 2 feet tall. I like to be able to spin it around and work on the whole thing. So we'll make that a thing later. Also probably gonna get rid of this cart. It used to be used just for random stuff to be worked on or whatever, because it's always nice. However, there's not really anywhere to store it. So it was also really good for feeding full sheets through, because I used to rip down full sheets, but I don't really do that anymore because I did get a track saw. We also do have one of these little doohickey guys that you put up from Rigid to help put the boards go through, and that way they don't tip. Yeah, and then we have a small little Rigid shop vac that I just use for cleaning the area and stuff like that. I really need to work on my dust collector. As you can see, it goes over to here into this corner, and it's kind of hidden over there, but there is a cyclone separator thing. It needs some work. It really needs some work. I'm gonna move it to the side of the workbench in this little outlet, because this used to be a garage door, so it pops out. There'd be enough room to squeeze my dust collector into that corner, and I'd rather have it over there. Easier to take out when you need to get rid of it. And I don't like these long lines, and I used to use this hookup, but I don't use it anymore, so it's just dead space. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. Have all the storage here. Is my Festool track saw guide, and then I just recently got this square thing from one of those Temu websites, Chinese knockoff sites. I so far haven't tried it out yet, but I'm hoping it's gonna be good. Then we have the 6-inch Rigid jointer, $500, so I took it. So far I've used it a couple of times. It's really good, but yeah, I don't use it a ton, so it's still good to have. Other than that, we're gonna go follow on the wall again. This wall here, I absolutely hate it. I can't do anything about it. It's got electrical hooked into the whole thing. It was built here in this shop before I can even do anything. So I started using it as a workbench, but as you can see, I don't like how this happens. It's just a storage of things that I never use and I can't get to. So we have one of these crappy Mastercraft Canadian Tire bandsaws. I hate the thing, but sometimes when you need a bandsaw, I guess it's there, it works. I have this blade storage thing. It was fine. I could never walk into it, so don't worry about danger or anything like that. I could never get close enough to the bench here to worry about it. There's always like this wood cart or something sitting there, so it wasn't ever a problem, but I'm gonna get rid of it. We're gonna build a little table that goes underneath the table saw over there. It's gonna be all for table saw storage, sleds, all that stuff. So yeah, bandsaw, my sprayer, I need to get a new one. It's leaking, it's broken in the cap. Old guy at work gave me this angle edger grinder, whatever you want to call it, and it's old school. I think I used it twice, maybe. It's not that great. And then my buddy gave me this. I have only used the disc sander, the belt thingy on the back is kind of awkward to use. I don't really like it, but I've used the disc sander once or twice. Not really a fan. Then I built my, let me stand back a bit. I built my chop saw, miter saw, like bench, but I didn't do what a lot of people do, and I wanted it on casters because unfortunately this isn't going to be a permanent shop, and it is just like nice to have things on casters when you want to rearrange, which I'm going to go through a rearrangement soon. But anyways, built this. It's got 3 cabinets and then an open bay just for a garbage can, so chops, little pieces go in there. This one down here, it's just storage of all my toolboxes and random stuff. This one here, we have a dedicated rigid shop vac that goes up and into the chop saw. There is 0 dust collection, really. It's garbage. Get some of it. I don't know what to do with my dust blower, leaf blower thing. So that's there. This final one is kind of like mechanics tools in here, and then I have one of these little carts in case I need it. I cut these little slots. We put a tape measure in there in case we need it. I have one of these little blocks because sometimes you need to cut pieces that are smaller than 10. So you go 10 inches, and then I just have one of these little T-track thing to make my stop. So when you need to cut smaller pieces, that's how you do it. I picked up this King Canada little mini drill press. It was cheap. It was like 100 and something bucks, 125 bucks or something like that. It's cheap. It works good when you need, a small little drill press. No huge power to it or anything like that. Just a small little, fence thing you put on here. And I'm going to remake something like that later, but for now, this works. It does its thing. Then we have the 10-inch sliding rigid miter saw. I like this thing, but I also hate this thing. Biggest problem that I have, like everybody else has, is these stupid bars. They go back so far. I can't get this thing against a wall. So I actually hate it for that. I wish it did not have that. But yeah, it does, whatever. And I mean, it works good. It cuts nice, and I've never had any issues getting like proper cuts or blade wobble or anything like that. It's been excellent. That's the only issue I have with it, is those bars. Otherwise, great saw, and yeah, still huge rigid fan. So then we have just some storage stuff against the back wall. This is all like my wife's storage and some random junk of things, and this old cart I have of some other random junk, plumbing, electrical stuff. I have bins of like random assortment of handles and hinges and stuff like that for cabinets. Some more mechanic stuff back there. Then over here we have my this is my Festool CT Mini. I think it's a 15. I use that one specifically only for my sander, and I have the Festool track saw as well, so I only use it for those 2 things, but it's really nice. I mean, I do like it a lot. I love how the power kicks on as soon as you turn the tool on. Stuff like that. Would really love to replace the hose and stuff like that at some point in time, or maybe even get a bigger one, but for now, that's what I got. It's all I could afford. It was expensive, as most Festool are. And then over here in this area, as you can see, those are my Festool sustainers. I have the Festool ETS 125 for the sander. This thing is a 5-inch sander, and I absolutely love it so far as electric sanders go. Like I said, woodworker, cabinet maker for 15 plus years. Everywhere I worked had air-powered sanders. Love those things so much, but having a big air compressor like that is really not realistic. So you have to go with an electric, and this one is absolutely amazing. I've been using it now for the last 4 or 5 years, and hands down, I will not use any other sander. It is absolutely amazing. And then I spoiled myself and I got the TS55 track saw, and it came with the 55-inch track as well, which you saw earlier. Those are the 2 Festool things that I spoiled myself and I got. And other than that, I don't have anything else Festool. Most of it's all rigid. Love to pick up some more later, but unfortunately, I'm poor. So I have this Metabo mini air compressor thing. I use it every now and then. I really love it, but I mostly got it because I used to do installs for kitchens, and it was great. It was super quiet. But yeah, it just kind of sits here now. I don't know what to do with it. So then I have this little workbench here. At the time when I bought this was 2020, And during that COVID time, it was really expensive to get lumber, and it's cheaper to order this thing from the US, have it shipped here, than it was for me to buy the 2x4 materials to build this thing. So I got it, and it works, it does its thing, but it's super like flimsy, and it's I could just crush the whole thing. This area here, get my chair out of the way. You gotta have a chair in the shop when you're here for hours and hours, and you have a bad back. So this area here, I built this kind of workbench area. Anyways, we have clamp storage on the side here as well. We have a bunch of these orange clamps there. Have a couple of Bessies, and then we have a couple of these T-squares, rulers, couple of squares here, different types, little measuring guides. Gotta have you know, somewhere to plug stuff in. Then we've got our drill bits for our Craig pocket hole jig with 5/8 3/4, a bunch of screws. That's a wood burn plaque thingy I made for my business. We have the corner rules here. We have at the top just some of those magnetic boards, which I really love for like bits and random things. I have drill bits and screwdrivers and all that stuff. My chisels hang on there. That'd be nicer to display them a little bit better. A couple of the pull saws, stuff like that. We have mallets, scraper, more clamps on the side, and yeah, and then the tabletop just gets all kind of messy with just random junk. Up here we've got our rigid. I have both the rigid bigger router and then the MIDI trim router, and I really like the trim router a lot. I use it a lot. I don't use this guy too much, so that might be what goes into the side table and becomes a router table at some point. Then I have the rigid brad nailer. It's good every now and then. I don't use it a lot because it's heavy as hell and I don't like that. Then we've got my drill and impact, and then all the batteries, charging station. So we've got that. Up top is just some random storage of levels and stuff like that, random things. Then we've got drawers, show you just quickly, rigid little mini drills and one of those random tools with all kinds of attachment heads of it. All my pin nailers. Oh, knocking over clamps. And then down here we've got just a saw and then a biscuit joiner. This one here is just an assortment of all like hand tools, basically. Just a quick guide of them. I use some of these little foam inserts to help keep them all in place. And this one here is just random storage of this type of stuff, screws and miscellaneous. This one is all drilling bits and guides and stuff like that. And then the bottom one is just that good old junk drawer of random things. And this one is just some miscellaneous stuff as well, tapes and little extra bits and fillers. And then this one here is all kinds of other junk of wheels. I have some hinges in here, some locks in here, some extra tapes, gloves. I have like a wrist guard and masks and all kinds of stuff like that in there as well. And on the side just hangs there is my pocket hole jig. I made this little attachment piece for it, which I really like. Looks really nice too. My old chop saw and little wheeler cart. I never use them anymore. I tried to sell them, and yeah, they never ended up selling. Old air compressor I never use anymore either. Also tried to sell it, never ended up selling it. This is my rigid contractor table saw that I just got rid of. I just upgraded from. It was amazing. I had this thing for the last 6 years, and it was good. It was good. It had some minor things with it, but you know, it's because it's a contractor, so I can't get super detailed. So then just some random storage bins. So yeah, that's my shop. Then up here is that loft area of storage, but that's my shop. We're gonna try and clean it up and organize it even more, make some progress. So this is just my quick little video tour guide of my shop, and hopefully we can see some huge changes coming in the future, some very nice layout and all that stuff. So if you've managed to stay till the end, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video.